Pittsburgh and the Islanders, this will be interesting. Pittsburgh is much better than we thought that they were going to be this year. Yeah, we saw them as like a playoff team, but I don't know if anybody saw them as being the dominant force that they've become. Norris candidate Cody Ceci leading the way, but really, I mean, the story is, I know.
He's been good.
I know. I'm mad. Listen, I'm upset about it. I don't like.
Dubas was
I
right.
wanted him to. Could he have been that for us?
Dubas should be screaming, "I was right" to everybody in the media, because Cody Ceci is a competent player for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Dubas saw that in him, and he never got it out of him when he was in Toronto.
He looked fine on their third pair.
Right. Yeah. Maybe if they had
he looked fine.
Morgan Riley, it would have been okay. But anyway, we move on. Islanders, Pittsburgh. You've got Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin. I mean, it's been the Sidney Crosby year in Pittsburgh. It's been unbelievable, and you could say that for most of the last 15 years. But the Islanders play this style that sometimes bores you to death, but it's very effective. Are they going to be able to contend with the Pittsburgh Penguins?
I like that you called them a boa constrictor before. They're so far behind. I don't, because NHL.com is terrible. I don't know where they rank in terms of goals scored, but they're bottom half.
Yeah, they have 156, and for context, the Pittsburgh Penguins have 196.
And they lead the league.
They lead the league.
They lead the league with 196, but only Vegas has allowed fewer goals than the New York Islanders, 128. You take a breath, they constrict. You take another breath, they constrict. I will say this, usually the hallmark of a real great team is killer road record. Their home record is nearly undefeated, and it should give Pittsburgh pause. Holy cow, do you need to win, I would say, both of the first two games of the series. The Islanders are 21-4-3 at home, but on the road, 11-13-4. Yuck.
And Pittsburgh has a better record than them at home. Do they not?
Oh, do they?
Yeah, Pittsburgh is 22-4-2.
So, and what do they got on? Okay, it's not much better on the road, but at least it's above 500, and they're tied for the hottest team in the league. It's them and Florida and Edmonton, by the way, who have 8 wins in their last 10 games.
Let me throw this at you, too. I don't think this stat matters, but the Penguins, who have scored 196, have also allowed 156, which is as many goals as the Islanders have scored this year.
Gee.
I don't know if that means anything, but I just thought that was a funny coincidence. And by the way, their spread, like the goal differential, doesn't really, it's not that different. Like, we're talking 30 goals for the Penguins, right? 40 goals.
And no, it's plus 40 for Pittsburgh, plus 28 for the Islanders.
Closer than you'd think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, closer than you think. The Leafs, by the way, when did the Leafs get the 4th best goal differential in the league? Anyway, sorry, I was very distracted by all that. Pittsburgh is an interesting team because they changed the story. Last year, I think some teams, like the Habs, in a good way, allowed the bubble to sort of write their story.
Mm-hmm.
They had a winning record when they fired Claude Julien, which is odd for a team that finished 24th in the NHL last year. But because they won that series against Pittsburgh, they gave the Flyers a run for their money. They said to themselves, this is who we are. But it's the Penguins who buckled. And look how they answered back.
Right.
They've answered back. Sidney Crosby has been fantastic. They've gotten far better goaltending. They've gotten some good performances from, unusual places. Matheson trade's been okay. Cody Ceci's been pretty good. Jared McCann having an extraordinarily underrated season there. Brian Rust having a very underrated season there. It's when the Penguins are good, this is what it looks like. It's, yes, their star players are good. They're always going to be dependable, but they're getting performances out of guys where you go, oh.
I love their complementary pieces around Crosby and Malkin. Like, you go down the list of their wingers, and it's Kapanen, it's Zucker, it's Gensel, it's Rust, it's Tanev. Like, it's a solid core around those two guys. And even like Jeff Carter as their third center and Teddy Bluger. Like
I forgot about him.
It's a really talented team.
Hey, here's the stat. Every team that's ever traded for Jeff Carter at the trade deadline has won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Is that true?
No, but it's...
The LA Kings. End of list. It's true. Man, he's in 14 games as a Penguin, 9 goals, 2 assists for 11 points. Bro, he's been real good.
I didn't know
real
that.
good.
That's awesome.
Real good. No penalty minutes. +9. Goofy.
And on the Islanders, they got Leo Komarov on the first line.
Listen, that's impact player Leo Komarov,
who was on waivers earlier this year.
Yeah, but he butt-ended David Pastrnak, so we're all talking about him.
Okay, yeah. So I do want to move on to the next matchup in this division, so we can get to all the matchups. Washington and Boston, they actually finished the season playing each other. Washington took that 2-1.
Let them fight.
Yeah, because this is going to be, and we mentioned this last episode, this is going to be the heavy hitter series. This is, I think, the one to watch outside of whatever team you're cheering for and whatever team you've committed to. This is going to be nasty. I feel like this is going to be a throwback to 6-7 years ago. Remember the Flyers and Penguins and the Washington Penguins, like just nasty, mean series. And that's what it seems like this is going to be.
We have been defending the North Division an awful lot, but outside of, Philly was weirdly awful, especially in the back half this year. We all knew New Jersey was going to suck. We all knew Buffalo was going to suck. But I looked at this division. We all looked at this division at the beginning of the year. We went, okay, there's the Rangers who are up and coming. There's the Islanders who seem like a gimme. There's the Capitals who seem like a gimme. There's the Penguins who seem like a gimme. And randomly, we just throw the Bruins into the mix. Ugh. That's probably the best group of 4 teams, right? Mm-hmm. I think so. It doesn't mean it's the best division, but it maybe kind of does.
Top 4, sure.
Best top 4, certainly. I think the North is a little bit more even, but that's the best top 4. There's nowhere to breathe. The Penguins are unreal. Capitals, unreal. Bruins, they don't care that they're the lower seed and don't have home ice advantage. Mm-hmm. Islanders, same thing. And like you said, it's going to be nasty. And watching the Bruins play Zdeno Chara in the playoffs, oh, Santa, I don't ask for much. Give me 7. Please give me 7. I just want to see 7. Santa, please give me 7. Make them all go to triple overtime.
Who do you give the edge to in that series?
Can I weigh in here?
Yes, I'm hoping. I want you guys to.
The edge, I think, goes to the Bruins simply because the big 4, I'm calling the big 4, Ovechkin, Oshie, Karlsson, Backstrom, all within the last week have been out with injury. So I don't know how healthy this, and I'm leaving out Kuznetsov because he's on the COVID protocol list. So I don't even know if he's going to be ready for game 1. So I don't know, going against the Bruins, who all they do is bully people. If this half injured, everybody's injured at this point of the season. But if you're missing significant time within the last week heading into the playoffs, especially Ovechkin, I think you got to give the edge to the slightly healthier team who likes to push people around.
And let us not forget that the Bruins acquired Taylor Hall for a 2nd-round pick.
Who has been extremely good, by the way.
That's
that
what I mean.
Backhand goal he scored?
If he was playing like that in Buffalo, it would have been a first.
Well, so I was looking up his numbers. I probably won't be able to find them in time.
I know what you tweeted. But pull up your tweet. All
right, let me try to find my tweet here. But basically, Taylor Hall, a lot of people don't like him. I get it. He's overrated. I get it. Sure. Fine. But one thing I can tell you about him, even if you don't like him, he is not going to shoot 2.3% forever. And I think he had the 4th worst shooting percentage out of all forwards who had played at least 10 games or something like that. That simply wasn't going to remain a thing. Mm-hmm. I can't find it right now. But his shooting percentage right now with the Bruins is something like 20. So now it's maybe a little higher than it should be, but he's shooting like 10 times the rate that he was with the Buffalo Sabres. And there's David Krejci, who turns it up every year. I'm sure Bruins fans are dying to see what Trent Frederick brings against a guy like Tom Wilson. I think you're right. I think I might actually favor the Bruins here.
Yeah, we could live to regret this. I also think outside of Boston, I don't think Bruce Cassidy gets enough credit for how good of a coach he is.
He's a really good coach. The big toss-up,
spectacular.
The big toss-up this series, besides not even knowing who's going to be playing or not, is the goaltending. Now, it's really young in Washington, and the Bruins have sort of had this carousel of Rask and Halak and Swayman, who's been really good. I'm very interested to see which team wins the series and who their starter is for the clinching game.
Dark horse, interesting note for the offseason. I wonder if this is Tuukka Rask's last year in Boston. Feels like it is.
It's weird. He's one of those guys who it feels like it could be his last year then. Like, he's not bad enough to retire, but it seems like the only team he wants to play for is Boston.
Interesting. Yeah. Steve, I think I found your the Taylor Hall shooting percentage tweets here. So he was shooting with Buffalo, he was shooting 2.3%, like you said. And Chris Johnston on April 12th tweeted that was the 7th worst single season shooting percentage among all NHL players since 2013-14. And then since the trade, he's been shooting 16.7%, which is 2% more than his Hart Trophy winning season. So
come on, guys.
Wow.
Yeah. You don't got to think he's going to maintain that. And like, you could cut that in half and it would still be 4 times better.
Right.
Like, this was never going to sustain. And I mean, didn't he lead the league in breakaways and he didn't score on one of them or something like that heading into his trade against Boston? He had like 9 and he didn't score on any of them. Michael Grabner, like, it was never going to maintain. Then all of a sudden the Bruins add him and he's with Krejci and Smith. Like, oh man, I'm sorry, Caps fans, but that is it's a tough matchup. Take it from me.